would really like to know more of what it's like for an American who is traveling into a closed access country. Tell me the dangers, or tell me a personal experience that you experienced when you were going into a closed access country in the airport. What are they looking for? How do they look for it? What kind of things can you tell us that we don't experience here at all?
That's very good. One of the main things that I notice is that as a Westerner going into any other country in the world, we don't even realize this kind of internal innate freedom that we walk in. Everywhere we go, there's something different about us because we live in this nation where we have such freedoms. We also have access to so many things. I mean, there's every kind of Christian bookstore you can name it. There's mom and pop Christian bookstores. We can get online and access anything we need to online because there's no restrictions there. So, I mean, I've got it's an embarrassing number of Bibles that I have at my house. I love Bibles. I mean, I just can't keep myself from buying Bibles.
Yeah.
I love them. I like to, anyway. But when you go into any other country, not just closed countries, we'd spoken earlier about Japan a little bit. Japan's a free country, first world country. And yet, when you walk into a bookstore somewhere in Japan, there's not a Bible section. You can't go select several different kinds of Bibles. You might be able to find one or two. So what we don't realize as Americans is it's not just that closed countries don't have Bibles in them. It's everywhere else. They don't have access like we have. So when you have Christians living in these other countries, the Word of God is so precious to them because some of them don't have access at all, and others, if they could get to the bookstore, there might be one or two. Mm-hmm. And that's one or two for millions that are living in a country. So that's why we want to get the Word of God into people's hands. Yeah. And why Westerners don't so much understand why that's such a precious thing, because after all, you can go to Walmart and buy a Bible here in America. Yeah. So as far as like stories, I have done some what we call courier work. Carrying physical Bibles across borders into closed countries. And that happens in so many more countries than you can imagine. There's a lot of known countries where it's popular, that people are more aware of it. Like for instance, in China, it is known that people would carry Bibles into China. But there's a lot of other countries where this same kind of courier work is happening. And there, I mean, it's... You said dangerous things. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, sometimes it would be dangerous because they might arrest you and things like that. Now, some of these countries aren't so much arresting people anymore for trying to take Bibles in. They just don't allow you to come in their country anymore.
Deport them out of the
Deport
country.
them. Those things happen. But other countries, absolutely. There are still places in the world, if you're caught trying to bring in a Bible, I mean, you would be held there and for possibly years, indeterminate years, for trying to bring in things like that. But yes, I had shared with you before, I'll tell you now, I mean, going into some of these closed countries, they're aware of digital access to these things as well. So though this is a huge blessing, Digital Bible Society, huge blessing, there's still a risk even trying to bring in the digital Bible into these countries, which is why we need prayer. We need prayer for this wonderful, amazing organization and ministry. It still needs to be covered in prayer to get these digital Bibles into these places. I've heard guards yelling out before, USB, because they know that there could be things on digital format that you're trying to bring into their country that they wouldn't allow. And so, yes, there's still risk involved. It's worth the risk to get the Word of God, the bread of life, in the hands of people who are hungry. Hungry and don't even know it.
And as Americans, we take this Bible so for granted, don't we?
We do. And we have to get it hidden in our heart. We have to get it hidden in our heart because we don't know at what time we won't be able to put our hands on it.